The Devil All the Time is a movie that I think is based off of a book, and this is something that I went into blind, did not know anything about it, but it's got a lot of praise, over 7 points in IMDb. It's got a high Rotten Tomatoes score. It's got a stellar cast. So I went into this thing like, show me what you got. And did I like it? Yes. Did I love it? No, it's not my type of movie, but I think for what they were going for, they succeeded. This is a very good looking movie. It's obviously got a good budget to it. Netflix makes really good movies. This one looks great. It's a period piece. It's set in the 50s and 60s, and the costume design, the set design, they really make it look like the 50s and West Virginia, the churches, every place. Like, it just feels and looks like you're in that era. So kudos to the people who made this movie. I wish I knew their names so I could say it and like give them shout outs like, hey, this person, but I don't know their names. I didn't write it down. But the names I do know are the actors. There are so many familiar faces in here. You got Jason Clarke, you got Tom Holland, you got Bill Skarsgard, you got Spider-Man and Pennywise, and now you got future Batman, Robert Pattinson here with his accent. And the characters they play, the accents they have, feels realistic. It's not like hokey, like fake accents. They sound like they're from the South. They sound like, they're from the hills of West Virginia. So great performances, good characters, even the ones that you're supposed to hate, like they play them very well. I think they play their roles awesomely. Like I said, it looks good. There's not too much I'll say about the story because it's kind of hard to give a plot synopsis. This is not a standard story structure where you're following like one or two characters from beginning to end. This is a movie that jumps all over the place where like they'll focus on this character and go from like this year to that year, and then I'll jump back to this year and be like, let's focus on these characters, now let's show this character. It just jumps from all these different people, and you're like, how is this all going to connect at the end? And when it does connect, it gets awesome from there, especially like with Tom Holland's character. That's really, I think, what most people will like the most about this movie is Tom Holland's story, what he does in the third act, and what his story is, and why he ends up doing what he does. It's very cathartic at times too, and unpredictable because of the story structure. You don't know who's gonna live or die. It's got dark moments at times. It's not a horror movie, but there's definitely some horrific scenes in it. There's piece of shit characters doing god awful things that you just want to like kill them yourself. So they're like, oh, you piece of shit, I would strangle you. The only thing I would say negative about it is that it's a slow burn film, so you gotta know that going into it, know who you are. It did drag a little bit for me from time to time, but not a whole lot. So just little plot conveniences here and there, like how people ended up meeting. It's like, really? But I liked it from that moment on, like a whole lot. Like, I liked the movie, but then in the third act, the ending, very satisfying in Tom Holland's journey to there. I like that we actually got to know his character, see his struggles, and see his relationship with his stepsister and his grandparents. Just really loved his character the most. Like, he was the standout for me. Tom Holland was the character that I really was rooting for, that I really loved and enjoyed the most. So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I don't want to say too much. I'm not going to give a plot synopsis. It would be kind of hard to. Don't want to spoil anything. Go into it blind. Know who you are. If this sounds like your kind of movies set in the 50s, movies that aren't story focused at all, like just one story, there's multiple things going on. Just if that's your type of movie, you want to check it out, go right ahead. I think it's worth your time. It's definitely worth one watch. It's not very rewatchable. It's not very entertaining, but on your first viewing, it's definitely edge of your seat suspenseful at times because of its unpredictability. So yeah, those are just my quick thoughts on The Devil All the Time. I enjoyed it. Didn't love it, but I definitely give it a recommendation to check out. So let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and thank you so much for joining me tonight. Really appreciate it, and hit this like button and become a subscriber today if you haven't done so already, just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And until next time, auf Wiedersehen.